doing, guys? I hope you all are doing fine. Today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to effectively use an inside bar candlestick in your trading journey. An inside bar candlestick is a candlestick that never moves the high, neither moving the low. You know, in trading we have higher highs and higher lows, and lower low and lower highs. So the range between the highs and the lows is called an inside bar candlestick. And this is what I'm going to be teaching you guys today on how to effectively use an inside bar candlestick in our trading journey. And number one, an inside bar candlestick helps us to know when the pullback has begun in the market. Let's say you're on a bullish trend and you don't know when the pullback wants to start. This inside bar candlestick help you to know your internal structures and know when the pullback has started. Then number two, an inside bar candlestick helps us to know when the change of character starts. So as an SMT trader, we all know what is change of characters. So change of character simply means when a reversal wants to start. That's a change of character. And number three, for me to use an inside bar candlestick, I use it as my own target, because most of the times what I usually use an inside bar candlestick are these three things I have told you right now, which is using it as a target, using it as a change of character, and also using it as a pullback. These are three things to use an inside bar candlestick for. So if you want to properly learn how to use this inside bar candlestick, wait and see through the practical aspect of it from the technical analysis. Let's dive into my other screen where I'll be teaching you guys how to properly use an inside bar candlesticks. So when you look at my screen, you notice that I have three different colors on my screen, right? So for those of you that are new to trading, I just changed the color of my charts. So for those of you who understand what it is, please just do me a favor and pay attention. And for those of you who don't understand as well, also pay attention. Now, if you notice something here, you'll see I have a very different color on every chart, right? On every time frame. So all these things you see is what we call what? An inside bar candlestick. Okay. So and how do we use an inside bar? But first of all, what is an inside bar? An inside bar candlestick is a candlestick that never removed a high and a low, right? So we have to say an inside bar candlestick is a range between a highs and a low. So let's say we have our swing highs and our swing low. So, and this is what an inside bar candlestick represents. That is the range between a highs and a low. That is what an inside bar candlestick is. So when you look properly to this inside bar candlestick, you will see what I'm saying, right? So you see the high of this candlestick and the low of the candlestick at once. You see that the price which formed here was not able to take out the low, and it was not able to take out the high. Now that is to tell you that there is a range between the highs and the low, and we don't know specifically where the price is going to, right? But how do you get to use this inside bar effectively? How we're going to be using an inside bar. So number one is this: an inside bar serves as a target, and an inside bar serves as an internal structure. Now what do we mean? Let's get rid of this. Okay, this is what we're going to be doing in order to know exactly what our inside bar might be working for us. So let's drop down to 4 hours. Let's drop down to 4 hours. So don't forget what I explained that an inside bar is. Now an inside bar is a range between a highs, right? Is a range between a highs and what, and a low. So it's simply what? A range between a highs and a low. So This inside bar is a candlestick that is not able to take out a highs and is not also able to take out what a lows. And this is what we're going to be doing here. So look and pay attention. So right now we have a break of structure to the downside. And first of all, you see that the market is selling, right? So we have been selling towards the downside and selling, and we keep having a breakout structure to the downside. Now, what does inside bar happens to be? Now, don't forget, I told you guys that an inside bar helps us to know where the internal structure is. So it serves as what? As an internal structure. Now, this is how we use an inside bar. So when you notice this move in here, you notice this move in here. What does that tell you? It tells you that there was a zone here, right? So there was a consolidation around here. And when the consolidation happened, we were not paying attention to, sorry, we were paying attention to the market. Now, let's assume that this candlestick has not closed. Then let's fast forward. So we fast forward and we notice that the candlestick has closed to the top side. So what does that shows you, or what does that explain to you? So it is giving you a signal that what we might be moving up. Why? Because it has definitely changed what? A direction. Now let me explain to you guys through my diagram. So let's say we have an inside bar candlestick, of which it is here, right? Or let me say it is here, and we have one break of structure to this side, right? So and the candlestick came back and start having something like this, something like this, like this, like this, like this, right? So with this, we're able to know that this is our high, this is our high that broke the low, and this is our low, right? So whatsoever candlestick is doing here, you already know that you are on a bearish move, right? So whatsoever place the market pulls off from becomes what? Our direction. So let's assume that we're able to break through this high, then this high becomes what? A change of character for us. So it happens to be that when this high is moved, it simply means that we have changed direction. So whatsoever we wanted is just to take an order for a buy. But let's say we are not able to break that high, then we came back and break this low. Then it simply means we continue with our trend. This is how we use an inside bar candlestick, and that is what you are specifically saying here. So at first, we have a range between these highs and this low. So after we have a range between the highs and the low, this gives us a signal that we are about to do what? To start buying according to this time frame you're seeing. According to this candlestick. Okay, so I'm going to show you how you're going to be looking at it in a full price actions and price range, right? So you see that we are able to move out the high. So as soon as we move out the high, definitely, what do you think we'll be doing? We'll be finding a price that will come below to take us to the upside, right? So let's fast forward this market and see what happened. Then we end up liquidating this zone. It becomes what? A break of structure. So now what do we need to continue this zone? We need a price that will break that zone, otherwise we sell from that zone. Why? Because this inside bar liquidate the upside and came back and liquidate the downside, showing us that we are now bearish, right? So unless this high is removed, that is where we can tell that we are bullish again. So let's fast forward this market. So we end up liquidating that zone again, coming to liquidate the down one, and guess what? Our low was still in place. We never removed the low, but we removed the high at the same time. Now trying to sell. Let's see what the market did. So we try to sell, then we see that we're not able to sell. We pick an order from this zone, then we melted. So guys, now this inside bar candlestick helps me to know my targets, right? And I explained to you guys that an inside bar candlestick is a range between a highs, okay, between a high and what, a low, right? Is a range between a highs and a low. Now, what is a range? When a market keep consolidating between a high and low without moving high or moving low, it is called what? An inside bar candle. And this is what this inside bar is representing. So number one, we use an inside bar for our internal structure. Number two, we use our inside bar for a target in the market. So let's say, for example, that we are here, right? And we notice that this inside bar has been moved. Where will be our next target in our trade? It will be here, because that's where our next inside bar candlestick is showing that we are going to do what? Tag. So we end up liquidating, coming down, tagging that zone again, now trying to let us know that we are now bullish, right? Because it has moved the high. Then where do you see the target? Now the target becomes the next inside bar candlestick, unless we are on a bearish trend. If you're on a bearish trend, any inside bar candlestick you're seeing at the top or at the top here is what is an internal structure. So when those inside bar is moved, this is showing you that a pullback has started. So number one, we use an inside bar candlestick to determine our target. Number two, we use an inside bar candlestick to know our internal structure. Number three, we use an inside bar candlestick to know when our pullback has started in the market. So keep these things in your mind so that you will not forget any of it, because trading is what? Trading is something to do with principles. Whatsoever principles you fail, you are going to suffer it, because definitely you have to follow the rules and regulations to know what you're doing. So let's say we have a break of structure. Okay, this is our break of structure. Then we keep going and keep going down, down, down. So, and sometimes you don't get to see the inside part, but you have to use your mind to know that this is an internal structure. Why is it an internal structure? It was able to go up and come back and take out a low. That makes it what? An internal structure. So we broke to the downside, we came back, we broke to the downside again. We see that we keep having a breakout structure to the downside. Then our internal low becomes here, and our swing low is still in place, because there was not a proper breakout structure aside from here. So we dropped. So you see that inside bar forming. So now when we move this low, here becomes what? Here becomes our swing high. Why? Now because we have a proper breakout structure there, and here becomes what? Our internal structure, because we're able to move this high from there. So when the high is moved, we can truly say that our pullback has started. But if that low is not moved yet, that means we can still continue our trade. So that low was moved, and the swing high was not moved. It was still in place. But probably if we are to liquidate the swing high, definitely we have to be conscious of whatsoever trade we are going to be taking as a sell. We have to be conscious, because we will not aggressively take a trade. So we aggressively broke the zone, showing us that what? We have started a bullish trend, and this becomes what? Our internal low, and we have our what? Our swing structure. So let's see what the market is saying. Then we end up liquidating that zone, okay, then coming back to pick an order. I guess this order we have to maintain this zone, otherwise it is a full zone for us. Maintain this zone like this for a buy, but let's see what the market is up to. Yeah, we end up buying from that zone. So we bought, and we had a breakout structure, and we have our inside bar showing us the low, and this becomes what? Our swing low. Then we press down, continue, press down. So we had another break of structure to the upside, and here becomes our internal low, and our swing low is still the same place. Why? Because this is our internal low and this is our swing structure, and there was nothing to show that our internal low appeared here, but it appeared here. So everything around this zone is a trade for us. So here now we have our swing structure aligning with our, so we are now on a pullback, right? And we have our zone to be here. This is where I'm saying a zone that an order has to be picked. So we end up buying from that zone, and we have a break of structure. All right, and trust me, this is a break of structure to the upside, and we have what, we have our internal low here, right? So this inside bar candlestick helps us to do what? To know our internal structure. Number one, it helps us to do what? To know when the market is about to pull back, and it helps us know where our internal structure is and our targets. These are very important things. So this is what it means. So when this low is moved, rest assured that we are about to do what? To pull back, right? So I have shown you what it means when it wants to pull back. Now, in using inside bar as our target, number one, this is what it is. So let's say we moved this high, right? We liquidated this high, and let's assume that our price is here, and we liquidated this high. How do we get to use this inside bar? And remember, our swing low was still here, right? And fortunately, we liquidated this high, and we are moving approach to that high. So where will your next take profit will be? This is how I use my inside bar candlestick. So let's say I'm on 4 hours and I'm targeting 4 hours high. If 4 hours high is moved, the next target I'll be having is my daily highs. So in my daily, I'll be seeking to know where an inside bar candlestick is on the daily. I have an inside bar candlestick here, and this is where my target will be. You see? So let me make it visible from this zone. Let me make this visible. I make this visible on 1 hour, on hours here. Okay, now we go back to 4 hours. So this is where my target will be. So let's see. You see? So how market came there and gave us the target. So let's say right now you have find a proper trade from this zone, right? You have found a proper trade from this zone, and you want to take a trade, and you'll be like, okay, when I take this trade, where am I going to put my target? You know, some people are confused on where to put it, and some people will be like, okay, I'll put it in this high. But for me, I'll go to the next time frame and find an inside bar candlestick and just place it there. And trust me, this is where my target will be if I'm on this trade. Then this is what I'm going to see as a trade. And that is it, guys. So number one, we have discussed with you guys on how an inside bar candlestick is used in an internal structure, and how an inside bar candlestick is used in setting our targets, right? So the next thing is what? The next thing is you subscribing to my YouTube channel and clicking the like button and leaving a comment below. So as for us